God, I only could hope that we can live up to those great remarks and the introductory comments. But, you know, I was thinking as Artie was going over this and talking about things, one of the greatest comments that ever was made by a parent was made. We were in Denver several weeks ago for a very successful camp, and a lady has 2 sons, and they've been at the camp for 5 years. And she says that when her sons go back to their teams and play during their regular season, she says that it is night and day between the quality of her 2 sons' play as compared to the balance of the team which has not gone to a camp. And she says the quality of improvement, the maturity, the confidence that they have in their own skill levels, and the growth of their game and knowledge and the ability to execute has put her 2 kids at a level far beyond their own teammates. And she says that they have a level of confidence about their play, a level of confidence about the game that is not parallel with anybody else on the team. And she says it's like night and day with those who have gone to camps and had the individual instruction and the individual attention to those who have not been fortunate enough to go. And as Artie mentioned, we thank you for obviously the sacrifices that you've made, taking from your schedule, especially over the 4th of July weekend, to afford an opportunity for your sons to come to this camp, in addition to not only the distance, the financial issues which he discussed in this economic situation, and then for their equipment, their gear, and everything else, to give all of the young ones an opportunity to grow and to enhance their skill levels and their knowledge of the game. And it's a unique opportunity, and as campers, you should be very grateful and appreciative of the opportunities afforded you by your parents and your relatives. I know in some other camps, some of the kids said that their grandparents gave them the gift of being able to come to camp. And so that's nice to have people who care about you so much as to give you all a chance like this. And as Artie mentioned, we're talking football 24/7 here. You gotta eat, you gotta sleep, and you gotta play football. That is it. You don't worry about the pool table, you don't worry about ping pong, you're not worried about the swimming pool. That's not what this is all about. This is a total immersion into football. You know, that's what your language, the way, the techniques, the mechanics, the skills, and the fundamentals that you're gonna hear and experience here is all unique in the sense that those are not words, terms, and experiences that you're going to have on the street as a normal youth. But that's to give you an opportunity. We're going to talk to you just like we're talking to the guys in the NFL. It's the same offense, the same terminology, the same language, the same defensive verbiage, because that's what we know, and that's why you're here. Had a young quarterback at the camp in Denver. We ran a naked bootleg to open up the scrimmage and everything. And this guy's a little tyke. He's about 8 or 9 years old. And I tell you, it made me laugh. And it was the greatest comment that I heard the whole time of so many positive things from parents and the kids. And he ran this play and faked the run to the tailback and came out around the corner on the backside and went forever. There was nobody within 50 yards of him. And he comes back and he says, "Coach, I'm going to go back to the room. I'm going to write that play down, and I'm going to give it to our head coach because we need this play in our offense." I swear to God. And I tell you what, I laughed. But, you know, I thought now, and this 8 or 9 year old young playing in the pups, and for him to be that aware and that focused and that, you know, just knowledgeable about what was going on and to understand what he just experienced as a player, as a quarterback, and then to be able to come back and say, you know what? I'm going to draw that up. I'm going to give it to our head coach, and we need to put this play in our offense. Now, that just makes that camp. That's exactly the kind of growth, the kind of maturity as a player that is afforded the opportunities for those who participate. There was a young man who was into what was going on. He saw the advantages of it, and he was aware enough and alert enough to say, you know what? I can take this back home with me, and it can make us better as a team and better as players and give us an advantage against our opponents. And so that's just, to me, that just sums up exactly the kind of vision that you want to have in today's youth who have experienced coming up this week in this camp. And you know, it's going to be focused, and it'll be demanding in the respect that we're going to set our levels of expectations here, and we're going to take these little, you know, Fabergé eggs that you're going to leave with us, your little treasures of your flesh and blood, and we're going to coach them up and make them aspire to attain a higher level of excellence as a young athlete. And that's our goal, and that's the way it works. I mean, you know, we all know that, you know, each one of them is, you know, very precious to you, and we're going to make them a better athlete. We're going to make them a better sports person on the field, make them have respect for the game and their equipment and each other and their peers, and support each other in the huddle, and encourage the success for each other, because we'll all grow and improve, and in every day and every way we'll get better and better and better. And that is through, you know, aspiring to attain a level of perfection. You know, it's like in the classroom, you work to get that 100%. You're not going to get 100% all the time, but you know what? You're going to get a heck of a lot of 90s and 93s and 95s on your test scores if you aspire to be a 100% performer in the classroom. Same thing on the field. Every repetition you get, our motivation for them is to aspire to make it as perfect a repetition as possible. You know, you may not get perfection, but you're going to climb the ladder and have a lot of success along the way by aspiring to perfection and the perfect rep. And the other thing is, in terms of when you're not involved in the drills as a participant and you're listening or you're watching, you're going to get a free mental rep without having to run, throw, or catch. You can learn from observing and hear the comments being made by your coaches and the corrections being made to try to get the other players to elevate, so that when you do get your repetition, you've already had a mental rehearsal and an opportunity when you jump in there to learn from what somebody else has done. So that's another way that you can learn, besides participating as a physical, actually doing it on the field, is by being a visual learner and a mental learner, and having good listening skills and absorbing all of this information. So your sensory perception, motor, and skills and all that, and your learning sensors are going to be bombarded with language as well as physical activity in terms of drills and stretching and form running. And, you know, we take them all as, you know, those big blocks of clay, and we're going to model and sculpt them into what our vision is of what the most desirable player is, predicated upon their current athleticism, flexibility, mobility, agility, and maturity, and then get them to grow in this short period of time through an intensive program predicated upon good sound fundamentals, good technique, proper mechanics, and good attitudes. And so we look forward to working with them all. And so you guys, now we can all head up the stairs, and we'll head over to the field.
Just the campers.
Just the campers, yes.
The campers. Parents, just stay here.
Parents, you get to stay here.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Find the counselors, take them down. Coaches, take them down to the field.
Thank you very much for coming.